So for you, what's like the driving force behind the coaching? Like, do you do you buzz off seeing people progress physically in the game? Do you buzz more when you see them progressing? You're doing sort of like the skills side of it, the skills coaching, or is it more of like, look, this is a good earner? Do you know, obviously this is a business podcast, so like we're trying to like get everyone sort of like outlook on kind of what the main drive is behind it all.
To be fair, I've been fortunate enough to play professional football in it, so like the money that comes with that is decent money. Do you know what I mean? So my like reason behind it is probably, obviously throughout my career I probably had a few injuries where if I probably did things a bit differently, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now. So I'm trying to like, it don't matter if you're an 18-year-old who's just starting their career or 35-year-old who's nearly at the end of their career, like the principles are the same. Like in order to like stay relevant, to stay involved in the game, you need to stay fit. And obviously strength and conditioning is a massive part of that. So that's probably like my driving force behind it, is just to make sure that like everyone has an understanding of what is required to be at a good level of football and stay there, because it's easy to get there, but to maintain it and stay at that level, you have to do certain things daily. And that's just what I want to help people with. Obviously I do like the fat loss and things like that, and obviously being an athlete, you've got to keep yourself in good shape, innit? So I can do that other side, that side there. But yeah, like the main things like this.
So like sustaining a longer career for those like that are at more of an elite level.
Yeah, exactly. Like sustaining that level and pushing on. Like obviously I've got links throughout the game, so I can send people to certain places. I can get people trials, etc., or get clubs to become interested in them if they're performing and consistent on the pitch. But obviously a lot of it comes from strength and conditioning. Like you need that side as well. You can't just rely on your ability, because like there's probably boys that play Sunday League that are unbelievable at football, but have never got the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? So the gap is so small to make it as a professional footballer.
I guess when you get older as well in any sort of sport, when you get to those high levels, everyone's talented.
Yeah.
Everyone has an ability, like natural ability. That's why they're there. And then it's the people who've taken a more professional approach to it from the start who surpass them. I mean, I know we can use like crazy examples, but there's no surprise that people like LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo are still at the top of their sport because they've treated their bodies incredibly well. And I mean, coming from the UK and seeing so many footballers in the generation before this who were unbelievably talented, who had careers until 30 because they didn't take care of their body. There wasn't a culture of kind of working hard, and how many careers are cut short just because fitness, like that shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? If your body breaks down over time, then you get it. Do you know what I mean? And you're playing week in, week out. But fitness, do you know what I mean? It's something you can control.
It's changed a lot, like over the past probably like 6-7 years, like the strength and conditioning side of it. Obviously, when I first started, I can remember at Newcastle, I didn't really do many strength and conditioning sessions. But now, even, let me say an example. So in the conference, 5 years ago, you'd probably just train. So that'd be training. A lot of teams are part-time. Now a lot of teams want to progress and get into the EFL. So they're all going full-time, and they have like strength and conditioning coaches. They have like nutritionists. They have everything in place to basically, they're basically a professional team, but they haven't got the stature of being professional because they're non-league. So a lot has changed in the game. I think there was a coach when I was at Port Vale that said to me, like, the 1%ers, it's like the 1% things that you do outside of the pitch that make a difference and will like allow you or progress you and keep you at that level, allow you to sustain that level, which is massive. So, and to be fair, one thing on Cristiano and Ronaldo and that, like, they're freaks. Like certain people like that, like Messi and that, like, how many bad injuries have they had? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe Messi's had a knee injury or Ronaldo's had a knee injury, but like not many people will be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously they've had unbelievable careers, like best players in the world, best players that ever played the game. But like, look, Ronaldo, fat Ronaldo. Look at the difference. You know what I mean? Imagine what he could have been if he didn't have his knee injuries in it. So there's like an element of luck in it as well to stay at that level.
And also, like you said there, like there's injury prevention stuff that you can be doing, and the luck definitely plays a part, but you can also determine how likely you are to get injured by taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you know, if there's a freak challenge goes in and you get injured like that, then that can happen at any time. But like, there are controllables, so why not control them?
Yeah.
I think as well, like, strength is the best form of injury prevention.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah.
like, the crossover for what you do in the gym to what goes out there on the pitch, like, you know, it is that 1%, you know, and I think as well, like, what you're saying there is like, just doing the things outside of what the clubs you've been at actually want you to do is what has pushed you on, like, further than what people you probably went through your scholarship or whatever with has. And you can kind of relate that to business as well.
This is where business and sport is synonymous completely, because people believe that once they become a professional, whether that's an athlete or a business professional, then they will start acting professional. So once I become that, then I'll start acting like that. I'll do all of my diet, I'll do my S&C, I'll do all the little things, whether it's a business or whether you're an athlete, it doesn't matter, it's the same. Whereas in actuality, it's acting like a professional before you're one, which gets you there.
Yeah.
It's not vice versa. You act and train like a professional, and then you become one. You don't become one and then start acting and training like one.
Yeah, you can't get away with it. Like, you won't be able to sustain it. Like, you need to, like, there's a lot of boys that obviously have conversations with daily and things like that are like, I've got my own, like, sort of program, and they tell me their program and it's not amazing. It's not like where it should be. But they think that program's going to get them into the game. But it just doesn't work like that. Like, I think I saw a study, probably like 125,000 players in England alone that aren't professional, that want to be professional. So what makes you stand out from the crowd? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously the strength and conditioning is the key.
It's the be-all.
It's the key.
And yeah, I think as well, like, using that example of what you just gave there is like, you see a lot of people that maybe haven't done the miles. Like, I remember a couple of years back, there was a lad who wanted to be a personal trainer, but he'd only trained for a year, right? So he hasn't lived out the process himself, and like that, you see that quite a lot. And like his journey wasn't enough to he hadn't done enough groundwork to make it as a PT essentially, or in the fitness industry, which I suppose is the same in sport. Of like, you can't make up hard work.
To be fair, I was lucky in the sense that before I signed for Newcastle, I was just doing my A-levels. I was playing a bit of tennis, playing a bit of football, just for fun. I was actually like probably further ahead in my tennis. I was playing for like the academy, for like the county. So I was like, my focus was tennis. And then what happened? An agent just got me a trial at Leicester, and I went to Leicester, and like, I done unbelievable. I don't know how I didn't get a contract there. Obviously, didn't get a contract there. Then my agent just sent me to Newcastle. Within a day, they was like, "We want to sign you." So my story, there's an element of luck. But obviously, I'd be outside my house every single day, kicking the ball against the wall. Like, I'd be doing the 1% that prepared me for the opportunity when I went on trial at Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? So you can't get away with just taking
that crossover in sport. Like, obviously, because you were playing elite level tennis as well as like, obviously, talented footballer. Do you think that on the conditioning side of it, that it benefited you to be ready to go into that next step for your football?
1,000,000%. Like, I felt I was sharper than a lot of the boys that have been in the academy since they were like 10 years old. Do you know what I mean? I was quicker, sharper, stronger, everything, and that was all through the drills that I do in tennis. Like, they'd have an element of strength and conditioning in there. We'd have to do a bit after session. So yeah, I definitely feel that benefited me.